Hello everyone, I'm excited to present our paper towards process-oriented, modular, and versatile question generation that meets educational needs. This work is done in collaboration with Simin Fan, Jessica Houghton, and Lu Wang. All of us are from the University of Michigan. Decades of educational research has shown the benefit of active learning improving students' learning outcomes, where students actively engage with the materials, for example, through question answering and problem solving, compared with passively receiving lectures or reading texts. However, most instructors still use traditional teaching methods, for example, lecturing in large enrollment college courses. This is often due to the fact that they have limited time and resources in creating opportunities for active learning. Meanwhile, there is a growing interest in leveraging NLP methods for automatic question generation. However, the adoption of such systems in classrooms is quite low. To fill the gap between the design of NLP-powered QG systems and the reality in classrooms, we performed a need-finding study. The study aims to address two questions. First, how instructors create questions of high educational value, and second, what are some key touch points to improve, design, and recreate NLP systems that instructors would find useful in their practice? The need-finding study has two phases. Starting with phase 1, we first collected a dataset of multiple-choice questions handwritten by one instructor on a human-computer interaction course. For each of the question options, we applied the text replay enactment method to identify what NLP modules are needed to transform the original text into the final option used in the question. Here is an example where 4 NLP modules are needed, including entity replacement, simplification, inference, and contradiction negation. In phase 2, we performed an interview and observation study with another 10 instructors to further elicit users' needs and identify opportunities to improve and redesign NLP-based QG systems. First, we find that supporting active reading is desirable yet expensive, and they all expressed interest in using NLP tools to expedite the process. Next, by comparing automatic QG with human QG, we identified 5 reasons on why automatic QG are insufficient. First, instructors wanted the questions to be aligned with their teaching goals. Second, when instructors create questions, they sometimes take information from their own experience instead of from the text. For example, instructors may create distractors targeting students' common misconceptions. Third, instructors concern the distribution and sequence of questions. And fourth, all of our participants mentioned that question creation is an iterative process. They often say, I'll write it down first and see whether I like it. And lastly, instructors combine a suite of techniques and strategies depending on the goals and context. Instructors express challenges when they create questions themselves. The two most salient ones are first, figuring out the key messages, and second, coming up with distractors that are both plausible and meaningful. Following the need-finding study, we selected popular NLP models for the most frequent text transformation operations used by the instructors and investigated existing issues. First of all, it is often hard to interpret why the output is produced as is. And second, for the generation-driven models, for example, abstractive summarization, their output is sometimes only tangentially relevant to the content. And lastly, the diversity of the generation is limited. For example, simplification and negation models tend to focus on changing specific words. Our study reviews instructors' natural processes of creating questions, the challenges they have, and when they may benefit from NLP support. Specifically, we see a strong desire for user control where humans provide input to NLP systems, decide when to use NLP outcomes. We thus make 3 recommendations for developing human NLP collaborative QG systems. First, we argue that it is more productive for NLP systems to provide process-oriented support instead of trying to generate complete outcomes immediately. For example, instructors liked the idea of highlighting key phrases in the text for the system to identify relevant content. Instructors also like the idea of highlighting certain spans in the text for controlled negation and simplification. Second, we argue that framing QG as a single NLP task does not align with educators' processes of question creation. We encourage QG systems to provide modular NLP tools and give instructors the flexibility of choosing which NLP models to use as they see fit. Third, we recommend QG systems to take diverse data sources as input and give instructors the flexibility to select input sources. For a complete list of design recommendations, please check out our paper.